Worried you'll never be able to retire? Make sure and do these 5 things right now in order to retire when you want to. I am Tiffany Thomas, your wealth mentor. I achieved financial freedom in my 30s and became a millionaire at 40. I'm here to help you do that even earlier and easier and without bias, since I do not work for any third parties. And if you do want to work with me, make sure and click that link below in the description. You can get the details on how you can work with me. All right, let's dive in and talk about these 5 things to do right now so that you don't have to worry about being able to retire. All right, number 1 is to do the math. We want to figure out exactly how much it's going to take us in order to retire. That way we can know exactly what we are working toward. And once we figure out that number, then we aren't just going to have this abstract idea on that we have to have $4 million to retire and that we'll never get there. We'll actually know the number and then we can work toward it. So an easy way to figure out the amount that you need to retire is to take your annual expenses in retirement and multiply that number by 25. For example, if your expenses are $40,000, your annual expenses, you're going to take $40,000 and multiply that by the number 25, which is going to give you $1 million. So we would need to have $1 million invested in order to retire, to live off of $40,000 a year. And if you want more detail about how to figure this out and why it's the number 25, I have another video breaking this down. I will leave a link above. You can check it out later on. All right, once we have figured out our exact number that we need in order to retire, the second thing that we want to do is to figure out where we are currently. How much do we have in savings and checking? How much debt do we have? All of those things. How much do we already have invested? We need to figure out where we are right now, and that way we can figure out a plan to move forward and get closer to retirement. I personally like keeping a budget or a spending plan. I use a free app, it's called Empower. You can hook all of your financial accounts to Empower, and that way you can see your full financial picture in just one place very quickly. For example, you can hook all of your credit cards to Empower. You can hook your mortgage, your 401k, your other investment accounts, your checking, your savings. You can even put in the value of your home, all of the financial things. And once everything is hooked to Empower, then you can see everything in one place very quickly. You can also see all of the transactions that are happening. So if you are spending a lot going out to eat, you can see that right in Empower. And that way, when you are starting to look at all of your expenses and even your income, you can see where to make adjustments. And that's what it's about. We want to take a look and see where we are right now and then make adjustments so that we can improve and get closer to retirement. And if you are interested in using Empower, I have a referral link. I will leave that below in the description. You can click on that link and set up a free account with Empower. Okay, let's take a look at the third item that we want to do. And this one is to figure out how we can increase the amount we are investing. In order to retire, we have to have money invested. We have to have passive income to live off of. And even if we think, oh, well, I can just work forever, that's usually not the case. I used to work with a lady who was quite a bit older, in her retirement years officially, and the company ended up letting her go because she just couldn't keep up with things at the business. So we just never know what's going to happen. So let's plan ahead and prepare and have our retirement ready so we can keep working if that is an option. Or if it's not, then we can actually retire in the official sense and live off of our investments. All right, so let's talk about how we can increase the amount we are investing. Right? We want to look at our budget, our spending plan, and see exactly where we are spending our money and how we can cut back on our expenses and put that money that we're saving toward investing. And it's not that we have to cut back on everything. We want to have our priorities and spend money on our priorities, and then we can cut back on the rest, on the things that aren't that important to us. So once we've taken a look at where we are spending our money and we've adjusted so that we have some money, some extra money going toward investing, the next thing that we want to do, the fourth item, is to figure out how we can increase our income. how can we make more money? There are a lot of different things that we can do. And one thing I want to say is, if you have a 9-to-5 job right now, how can you get a raise? Can you switch companies and have that new company pay you more? Can you ask for a raise? A lot of people don't even ask for a raise. And if we don't ask for it, we are usually not going to get it. So make sure and schedule a time with your boss to talk about a raise. Talk about all of the improvements that you've made, the money that you've saved the company, or the money that you've brought in, or whatever your skill set is, and show some numbers and ask for that raise so that we can increase our income that way. We want to start with the lowest hanging fruit. And if we have a job, one way is definitely to ask for a raise. And then another way is to have a side hustle or even a part-time job. There are a lot of ways to make money right now, and a lot of them are online, so they are remote. So you can actually work from anywhere you want to and create some extra income. And actually, to be honest, one of the things that I've done recently is started doing some Amazon reviews, and I've created a few $100s from that. And I know people that have created $5,000 in a month from that. So, I mean, there are just a number of ways to make money, to have that extra income. And you can Google that. There are a lot of videos on how to find a side hustle so that you can create some extra money. But that's just one option. And the thing is, we don't have to do that forever, right? We can do it for 6 months. We can do it for a year. We can set a specific time period or a specific amount of money that we want to make and work those extra hours in order to make that money, and then we can stop. It doesn't have to be permanent. And then another way is to, if you have your own business, then you can either add another package to your business or more products or raise your rates or just create a short-term product or service that you could offer. And again, you don't have to have that be a permanent offer, but it can be one way to increase your income for right now so that you can invest more of your money. Comment below and tell me one way you are going to increase your income, or if you already have, then share with everyone else and let us know what that way is. And then item number 5 is to take a look at where you are spending your time. I feel like this one is a big one. There are a lot of different things we can spend our time on, and a lot of them are pretty wasteful, to be honest. I know I waste a lot of time on social media, and I could definitely cut that back. I love watching YouTube videos about growing your business or even about finances, and I could instead take that time and create content for my own business and help increase my income that way, right? So just think about, where are you spending your time? And actually just take a week and start to write down how much time you are actually spending on things. I think it might surprise you. And maybe it's not social media. Maybe it is playing video games, or maybe it's just reading a book, or there's just a number of things that we can be spending our time on, and maybe it's even playing sports. And I'm not saying we have to get rid of all of these things, but we do want to ask ourselves, what is our priority? Is our priority right now to make extra income so that we can invest that money and retire when we want to? Or is it not? Maybe we just want to spend 10 hours a week making money, and then we can spend the rest on whatever it is, on social media or reading our books. Or we can even take some of that time that we might be wasting and develop a new skill that is going to help us get a raise at work, or help us add things to our business that can increase our income. So just think about where you're spending your time and where you can make improvements. Comment below and tell me one way you are going to improve the way you're spending your time. I'm curious to know. And if you do want help with these items, with coming up with more income and learning how to invest your money, make sure and click the link below in the description and get the details on how you can work with me. And if you found this video helpful, make sure and hit that like button and the subscribe button and share it with someone else. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.